What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about my investment strategy, and we're also going to talk about 5 ways that I plan to invest my money so that it works for me and not vice versa. Now, one of my favorite quotes is from Warren Buffett, and basically what he says is if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And I could not agree with that sentiment more. It is 100% true. You should definitely be focused on generating passive streams of income and building them up. But you should also be investing and spending your excess cash flow on things that are going to produce income for you in the long haul. Alright, so the first one is a Roth IRA, and basically that's just a retirement account. You can put a max of $6,000 a year going forward into your Roth IRA or your retirement account. Now, it's very, very similar to a 401k in a lot of ways. However, because I'm an entrepreneur and I don't capitalize off the employer match that a 401k has for a lot of employees, I just invest my money into a Roth IRA. There's slight differences there. Basically, the main difference that you look at is with a 401k, you're getting taxed later on. So you're not capitalizing off the tax rate that is currently, and obviously that tends to go up over time. So with a Roth IRA, however, you're basically locking in your tax rate right now. You're putting your money after taxes into an account that you will not be taxed on later when you cash out. Whereas, like I said, the 401k, you're getting taxed later, so you're putting your tax income from your paycheck a lot of times, if you're an employee, into a 401k, and you will be taxed later in life when you retire all at once. So it's very, very different from that aspect. Now, you can pull money out of 401k. However, you will be taxed on that initial money as well, on top of a penalty for pulling it out. With a Roth IRA, however, you are not going to be taxed because this is your post-tax income that you've already paid taxes on. One of the reasons that I love it too is because you can pull, unlike a 401k, you can pull your money out of the Roth IRA and not have to pay a penalty, and obviously you're not getting taxed on it either. So basically it doubles as my emergency fund and my long-term retirement fund. I think that that's very, very smart because nobody anticipates an emergency, but you want to have access to that money, just in case you ever need it. I can pull my money out and not get taxed or have to pay a penalty, but it's in the stock market compounding for me, and I choose M1 Finance when I'm using my Roth IRA. Now, like I touched on, there is a $6,000 limit every single year, so I set it up fully automatically. I get it deducted from my account every week. So there's $6,000 limit per year. I think that comes out to like 115. It's like a little bit over 115 every single week. So that just auto deducts out of my account. I don't even pay attention to it. And I just basically count it as another expense that I pay attention to. And it just comes out of my account and, saves for me and compounds in the stock market long term. And also, you can basically elect to choose your own stocks, just like any other stock market fund, or you can turn it on fully automated and they'll handle all your money for you. It's very, 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 very easy to implement, and I highly suggest that you looking into M1 Finance if you're, basically trying to set up an IRA. Now, moving on to number 2 would be my dividend portfolio. And both, just like number 1, this is actually something I'm fairly recently looking into and starting to build up. So I'm working hard to put all my excess cash flow into dividend stocks. I love the passive income that you can collect every month from dividend stocks while your money's compounding in the stock market long term. And I might put more into a Roth IRA realistically, but there is a limit, so the rest of my money obviously goes into my dividend portfolio. So that's a combination of blue chip stocks that I believe in. I look at the balance sheets, I look at whether they're cash flowing, what their current situation is like, and whether or not I feel like their dividend is reliable for the foreseeable future. So whether or not they have a history of paying that dividend, what the company looks like, and if I believe in it. And I also mix and match that with some ETFs that are a little bit more safe, for lack of a better word. Not that the blue chip stocks aren't safe, they completely are, but investing in a Vanguard ETF, where it's basically like the total stock market ETF fund, or the S&P 500, I have shares of both of those. They both pay you a dividend, and they're a little bit more diversified with several stocks. You're basically just investing in a fund where that fund manager is investing in stocks, overall. So it's a little bit more diversified, a little bit more safe, and I like combining the two. That is my overall approach. Now, the benefits of these, of investing in dividend stocks are twofold. Compound interest, which I'm sure, the majority of you know, and if you don't, it's basically just earning interest on your interest for a long period of time, and it can really, really, really be great for building wealth long term. And then it's combined with passive income and dividend stocks every single month. Now, it depends on when your dividend stocks pay you out. Sometimes, most of them pay you quarterly if they're reliable, but they might be scheduled, if you have a bunch of different companies invested in, they might pay you out different months quarterly. So it can be practically every single month. And I highly recommend that you start looking into dividend stocks. If you want 2 free, I held up one like I was about to say 2. Geez. If you want 2 free dividend stocks, I actually started on both Webull and Robinhood and collected 2 free stocks myself. I will have links down in the description if you want to grab 2 free stocks on Robinhood and Webull, 100% free. All you have to basically do is sign up. You don't have to even deposit anything, and you can collect your free stocks. And those stocks are worth up to $1,000 each. So it's a great, great way to get started in the stock market if you're interested. So the third thing that I'm actually investing in is probably the most important in my opinion. They're all very, very, very important. But the first step, straight out of the Millionaire booklet, great book you should look into, would be investing in my business or in me. So the first step is increasing your income, then figure out how to get multiple streams of income, and then figure out how to basically multiply those multiple streams of income or invest. Now, he teaches, real estate essentially. I prefer a little bit of both, so we're gonna talk about that here in a second. But the next thing that I'm investing in is my business and in me. So what does that actually mean? Well, I'm investing in ads. Scaling up ads, to basically generate traffic to my webpage, to generate traffic to my Udemy videos, and sometimes my social media, and sometimes I'm also doing retargeting for certain courses or YouTube webinars that I plan on launching in the future. So it costs a lot of money to figure out your different ad spend and get that profitable, but that's something I'm highly looking into investing in to grow and scale my business. The next thing that I do is outsource, and it saves me time so I can spend money on my business and grow it while not having to actually invest 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, always working in my business. I want to work on it. There's a major difference. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't do everything myself. I do a lot of things myself, but I do outsource when I can save time and I feel like it's profitable. Now, I also purchased new equipment. One thing that I actually purchased is a new mic. So I got a new wireless lavalier mic that I'm really excited about. So I know that some people have been saying that it kind of echoes in here. I have a good mic set on my camera, but obviously it's back in the corner of the room, so it can kind of get echoey. I think the new mic will really improve the audio quality, but I'm always investing, in things that are going to grow my business and make me, for this specific business, help me basically create better content for you guys, and that will go a long way. I don't just create YouTube videos, I create courses and a lot of other things. So basically investing anything into your business is a write-off.
Let me just say this in advance. I know that I'm gonna end up in a deposition with the IR and the S. I'm predicting the future now.
And it's gonna help you increase more income. It's a good investment.
I've been in 3 audits already, maybe 4 actually.
Also spending more money on arbitrage products. So, I like to stay broke essentially, which is something I'll talk about in a future video a little bit more in depth. But, rather than just allocating like 3 or 5 grand to spend on arbitrage products, if I have more money, I'll spend 5 or 6 grand. And that basically means it's a return on your investment business. So the more you spend, the more you get out of it. So spending more on arbitrage products is definitely something I like to do, and that's an investment that I make into me and my business. Now, more investments into me, just to give you examples, would be consulting with people. So one of the things I'm looking into is, basically that we're gonna tie into next, is looking at real estate that cash flows. Now, I don't know enough about that, so some of the money that I will allocate will be to consult with people that I think know a lot more about that, and I can basically pick their brain and figure out what the best approach is and things that I should be looking at and basically mistakes that they've made so I can avoid them. I think that's very, very valuable to invest in, not just for me, but for you as well, depending on whatever it is, whatever business venture you're interested in. I also buy courses, I buy, other content that I feel like can help me, I buy audiobooks, I buy content, I invest back into myself and my business in a number of forms and fashions, and I buy course after course after course if I think it can help me and basically expand my knowledge base. Now, moving on to number 4, which is the real estate. that we talked about previously. Now, I do not know that much about investing in real estate, but I do know it's one of the most proven ways to build long-term wealth and generate passive income at the same time, just like the stock market. So I'm heavily looking into real estate. I want to make a long-term real estate play, so I want to build equity into a property while it cash flows and I rent it out. So I'm not buying a house essentially to live in. I'm buying a property that I can rent out on a monthly basis that cash flows positively while I build equity into that property. So basically the tenant or the Airbnb residents or whoever will basically pay for me to upkeep and actually pay the mortgage on that property while it cash flows and I build equity, like I said. I think that's a very, very valuable way, and it's one of the most proven ways in history that people have been building wealth for, a long, long time. Number 5 does not really, you might have some hangups or thoughts about this, so let me know down in the comments what your thoughts on this are. But number 5 doesn't actually put money in my pocket. It actually takes money out of my pocket and is 100% a liability, but it's something that I want to do. I'm a big believer in, balance in life. I'm a big believer in, enjoying your life while you're here. I don't think that people should spend basically 40 hours a week working on a job that they hate, and basically, waiting until they're 50 or 60 to retire and not having to enjoy it. So I'm spending money on travel. Me and my girlfriend love to travel. We got a lot of places on our bucket list, and I think that I want to live my life now and spend money on travel. It's an investment in, basically seeing the world, expanding my horizons and my outlook and different, ways that I perceive things. And it was really eye-opening. Not the last place, but one of the last places I went was to Peru, and it was a phenomenal trip, not just for the sights and hiking Machu Picchu, but also for seeing the other ways that other people in the world live. It made me really grateful for what I have, and I think that that's very, very important. So I think travel is a very great way to spend your money. Obviously, you're not going out and blowing all your excess cash on travel and not investing it. Travel is something that I do after the fact, after I invest the $6,000 in my Roth IRA, after I'm putting thousands a month into my dividend portfolio, after I'm investing in my business and me, and after obviously I'm investing in anything else that might cash flow, like real estate, in the future. Then I also travel. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying that you should spend all your money, but it is important to live and not focus on just long-term retirement. Live now, enjoy your life now. There is a balance. So that's the 5 things that I'm investing in that are basically putting money into my pocket and getting my money to work for me. I would love to hear from you guys though. What kind of things are you investing in? And if you could only invest in one thing, just one out of all of them, what do you think? I said it was investing in yourself and your business. What do you think, if there was only one, would be the most valuable thing that you could invest in yourself? And I'll see you in the next one.